Good morning, people. My name is Matthew Archambault from DrawingTutorialsOnline.com. Welcome to another live stream. If you're joining me here this morning, let me know how the sound is. Does the sound clear? And when I move my mouth away from the mic, do you hear me less? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So in today's live stream, what we're going to do is we're going to try to draw this really cool portrait. And I'm kind of feeling like I want to draw a little bit looser today. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a little warm-up drawing that I'm going to share with you here momentarily. That is very loose, and I'm kind of seeing this portrait like in a looser way. But we'll take it as it comes. We'll take it as it comes. Let's see how we do. Now, a couple of things that I just want to share with you is today I'm trying something different. I'm trying to be like a little bit more advanced. Hey Phoenix, welcome. Let me know how that sound is. Does it sound clear? I'm gonna be using this Stonehenge going off-road with Joe. Good morning. Colors pad. So like they're really chill colors. They're like it says cream, natural, warm white, pearl gray. So yeah, this is a pretty nice drawing pad, and it doesn't say. Does it say the pounds? I don't see that here. Okay, I've had this pad in the past, and I really liked it, and I saw it in the store. I went to buy some new stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that. This has been my cheaper pad, my go-to pad for lately the classroom. It's just very generic. It's Strathmore Drawing 300 series. It's 14 by 17, and it's only 70 pads. Like, I love this. Hi, Yusra, for live drawing. And I also love the live drawing, the spiral bind pad. Spiral bound pad, because when you're working with newsprint, which I've been working with for years, when you get to the end of the pad, it starts to get very clunky when you fold over like 50 sheets of newsprint. And this is much better. And for my younger students, I think they can't store their pads at the school. So traveling with this, it's a little bit more easier for them when they're commuting to school. And I recently bought. All of a sudden, the Prismacolor Colorase company thing is the weirdest company. Like, all of a sudden now they're selling separate green, blue, and red pencils. Why they won't sell separate black ones is like beyond me. I mean, if you can sell separate green, blue, and red, why not black? I just don't understand it for the life of me. But I love the green. They're really cool. And so this is some things that I've been working with. Hi, Carmela. All right, so let's get started this morning. Let me just get a little swig of coffee here. And I don't want to waste your time. We're going to do a quick little warm-up, and then we'll get into drawing this portrait. All right, let's see here. Let me just raise my sound. Oh, gee whiz. Okay, maybe I won't do that. Okay, let's switch and let's warm up. Oops, no, I don't want that. Weird. Okay. Yeah, let's go to 1. So this is the pose we're going to be drawing today. This is my warm-up. I want to draw on top of it and point some things out to you in a second. It's a fuller photo than this. Like, it's a full body photo. I just like the portrait. I thought it was doable in, say, an hour or so. And then this is the one that we're going to be drawing this afternoon in my Zoom class. I love that one too. I don't know which one I like better, but I really love that one a lot. Great model to draw, very definitive features. But going back to the one that we're going to try to tackle here this morning. So let's go green, baby. Let's go green. Okay, so Colorase green, and I'm gonna zoom in just a touch. Okay, so some things to look out for. I understand this is low, but I'm gonna use this as like a warm up thing. So actually let's warm up first, and let me it'd be really helpful if I had my other monitor where I can just look up and not look to the right. The winter break is coming in 5 weeks, and I need to do like a better setup than what I have for this live stream. So let's do a continuous line circular warm up. You know what I like to do. Now I'm drawing on really cheap paper, like a 50-pound paper. And so it has no texture, it has no tooth. So it's not really grabbing the coal erase and making it come off onto the paper like sandpaper would. So that's cool. I've got that. I can just do like I'm really digging lately drawing like ellipses in a life drawing class. Like these ellipses are just so extremely helpful to loosen up just as much as those little ovals are. So I'm going to resharpen my pencil. I guess it is acting like sandpaper because maybe I was just pressing down hard there. So some things to look out for when we draw this pose. I'm going to go the traditional route, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, what the angle? Okay, I think my sharpener is coming to the end of its life. I've got others backups, but yeah. So we're starting with this. I'm just showing you right now. This is not the drawing. I'm just trying to give you like a little heads up. Hey, Paul, welcome. And this really zooms down. And yes, hold on one second. My God. Okay. And this zooms down. So what we're going to do, this kind of comes straight and then it tilts in. Okay, so we might start that way, and then we might say that this is a line of action, this part of the model's hair. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that height as I draw. Now, you could also look at this side of the model's face also as a line of action. And then last but not least, with how we're going to draw this, I'm looking at the model's jawbone in front of the ear, and I'm going to look at the distance from the jawbone to the edge of the face. I'm looking at that, and this kind of loops down. When we do that jawbone, you don't want to press down too hard there. And then what I did with the warm-up is, this is what I mean about I want to be like a little bit more sketchy this morning. I just see like that cheekbone there. It's the form of the head, and then that eye socket, and then I'm seeing most of this neck is in shadow. And yeah, so that's probably how I'd like to start this piece. And then we deal with the macro angles. The macro angles would be, the forehead, the brow bone, then it tilts inward, and then I notice that the cheekbone's right below it, and then we're doing this dance of the micro angles kind of coming on down like that. Okay, and then we look for things like, where's the tip of the nose in relationship to the edge of the face? Look at the tilt of the lips. Look at the tilt of the eyes. All of that stuff is kind of tilting. The other thing that you want to look for when we start to draw this portrait is the distance, say, from the front of the chin to the front of the neck. Okay, and then last but not least, what is lower, the chin or the hair? Now, I want to show you sometimes what I do in Photoshop before I draw. Now, I got to admit, I don't really do this that much anymore, but I used to do it a lot, and it's actually really helpful, and I want to share it with you. It's pretty simple. So this is my iPad Photoshop. I've got my model here, okay? So sometimes what I'll do is on a layer, I'll just do some measure lines, right? Where's my Apple Pencil? There it is. 1 second. So I think if you struggle with these proportions, you should maybe do this. Like, the one thing I wanted to know about this portrait was what's right below the brow bone, and the cheekbone's right there. So that was important to me. I wanted to know like the eyes, like so I went kind of right across from that eye, and the top of that eye is the top of the eyelid. The bottom of that eye is kind of bottom of that eyelid. And then what about the corner of the lips? Like what's right up above from that? And it's the tear duct of that eye. So I'm really thinking that a couple of these measurements would be really good. Okay. Now, one other thing that I want to share, and I'm not doing this, I'm just going to kind of wing it. But if you're kind of looking for a couple of tools, and these tools are very low barrier to entry, and this pair of calipers is from like 1987, so I can't believe it's how old is that? Holy shit, that's like a long time. So you could also measure from the chin to the top of the head with these calipers, and I'm not really doing a good job here, but I think you get my point. And you can put that down on your paper if you wanted to save some time. I'm not going to do that. And you can also measure the width with it and just come on in with the calipers. Oh, yeah, so edge of the hair, edge of the hair. And these calipers, you can see that they're chipped on the edge, so they're not that good. They're not that accurate. And then I don't use these. I bought them just because I did. I don't know. I don't like these calipers because I don't like how you can't secure them. Like they're always like a little loose, and I don't like that. My other ones have this like wing nut on it, and I could tighten them and save that measurement. And what these were purchased for was life drawing the skeleton. The teacher made us buy these, and we would actually literally measure the rib cage with this and put it down on our like 30 by 40 sheet of paper in the classroom. And that was from a time long time ago, 1987, with the wonderful teacher of Andrew Gerndt, who just recently retired. And he was a wonderful teacher. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to slide over and I'm going to start to draw here. I hope I gave you something to cling on to, and let me just get a little. So Theo Gomes, finally someone who doesn't use the Loomis method. Oh my God, that was classic. Okay. All right, listen, Theo, I have nothing against any technique from anybody. I have nothing against the Loomis method. I just never, I just finally, Theo, used the Loomis method like maybe a couple of months ago because it was requested from one of the members of my website, Drawing Tutorials Online, and I did it, and I thought it was cool. And I've got nothing against the Loomis method and all the people who teach it. I just, I guess I'm a different creature because I've been life drawing for, 28 years of life drawing, and that changes you. Like, it changes your vision, and I rely a lot on my vision. And what I like to say is I still use measurements, but I use more of a common sense approach to measurements. Like, hey, what's right across from the ear? And again, the Loomis method is great. There's a time and a place for everything. Alrighty, so I'm going to put down the better paper. I've never used this paper. Well, I have, but years ago, so I don't know how it's going to act. So let me put that down, and let me get some tape so it doesn't move. And we're going to get to drawing here. Let's do this. Okay. Green pencil, come out. Wherever you are, I'm already like all over the place with this today. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, and listen, I get you right now that this is not must-see TV. I'm going a little slow here this morning. So I might say, okay, this is my sheet of paper, and I want that to kind of be the top of the model's head. So I have enough room if I choose to do the shoulders, but most likely I'm not going to do that because it's a live stream drawing and there's only so much time. And man, that's a little freaking high for me. But I'm going to put it there anyway. So I feel like I'm reaching up to draw this model, which I hate, but it's making me kind of stand a little bit more upright, sit a little bit more upright. I'm going to lower it a touch. So, okay, so first thing. I get you, people. I just need to establish the drawing on the paper first, and then I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So I kind of like to start at the back of the head, and I didn't do that. It's just like sometimes systems, like it's really good to always start the same way. With a portrait, I'm a big believer in systems. Like I start my figure drawings a lot the same way when I have a certain allotted time to draw. Okay, so there's the back of this model's hair. It's going straight up and down. I get you. I know. I'll zoom in shortly. And then it angles, and we don't want to be too anal with this. We don't want to draw too slow. And this is where the 28 years of life drawing tells me that sometimes if I draw too slow in the beginning, what happens is that we get stiff, and that's no good. So we want to keep the pencil moving around the paper. So all of a sudden, let me not judge. Let me not judge. It's a little big for me, but let me not judge. So now I'm going to draw this line of action. I need to slow my roll. And so now back of the ear, and then the ear is scooching down, and then we have the back of the hair, and I'm going to loop up with the back of the hair. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, people, is I've got enough room. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm using more, and I'm going to lower this freaking paper. Oh, my God. It is, like, so far away from my head. Okay, so I'm going to lower. Better. Let me just make sure the paper is square. Good. And let me tape down the top of it. So far, I'm liking the way the paper feels. Feels pretty good to me. Okay, and okay, cool. Back to the pencil. So I'm going to start all over again with what I just did there. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to lower my reference, which if I lower it anymore, it's going to cast a shadow on my piece of paper. Now, the other thing that I want to do, if you can just indulge me here for a second, is I want to put down my value scale. I've been hammering the values with my students in class. We've been doing exercises in class, and everyone's getting better because of the value exercises that we're doing. I'm loving it. Okay, so good. Okay, so once again, straight up and down. I'm starting to press down a little bit harder now. Let's go up to the top. And then it really starts to zoom downward. And then it tucks in. This side of the hair is a little higher. And this side of the hair needs to be a little lower. And then this ear is pretty close to the outside. I'm going to get that ear now. And I'm just going to represent it as an oval. And then this is not a sideburn area, but I always refer to it as the sideburn area. Okie dokie. Now, what do I want to do next? Do I want to do what I did in the warm-up? So where is my warm-up sheet of paper? Let's go to that. In my warm-up drawing, I said that you could do a line of action like that. Okay, let's try it. Let's try that and see what that does for us. Now, I'm going to do that lightly. I don't want to go too dark. So I'm going to say here. And now I'm going to go to, now I got to make sure this ear isn't too low. So I'm just kind of winging it here. I'm relying on my vision, and I'm trusting my vision because I've used my vision before. and I'm not really relying so much on technique, but I'm relying on my eyes to see this stuff. And so, like, you've got to train your eyes. Um, and I've got good days and I've got bad days. I'm not saying every day that I draw is a great day, but yeah, but it's just good practice. Okay, so your eyes are more important than the pencil and your touch. Your eyes, what you see, it's very, very important. So now I'm looking at the chin to the bottom of the bangs of this model's hair, and I'm looking at the height of that face. So what did I say in the warm up? I said that I wanted to be sketchier. Now, look, I want to look at this piece from a little, I want to look at it on my video. So hold on now. Okay. So I want to move this piece of paper to optimize it for video. Better. Okie dokie. So perfect. Now, I could bring this in more. I think it does need to be brought in more. So let's just do that quickly. Yep. And listen, new paper, new pencil. I'm loving the way that this is working right now, this pencil paper combination. So my next thing that I'm going to do before I even do the micro angles on that side of the face is I want to draw like a painter. And I kind of want to look at that negative space. Remember we said that. I ay ay ay. Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm getting silly now. Okay, so I love putting in this side plane of the face like that, and I'm seeing that cheekbone, and that cheekbone's gonna connect with a connector there, and now I'm seeing this, and I want to be. I don't know. I just feel like being a little bit more painterly with this portrait. Um, I want to get that eye socket in. And this whole ear, jawbone, ear, shadow behind the hair. So that hair over here is too wide. Well, and then the chin, since we did that preliminary measurement, the hair is a little lower than the chin. And now this gal's got a very skinny neck. So I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to go this way with my shading lines. I'm just feeling that vibe right now. Yeah, okay. I could have gone this way, and that would have worked too. Actually, I'm going to do both because it's so light. It's all good. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to reinforce that jawbone. Okay, so very, very, very painterly, and it's very light. Also, like I'm not pressing down hard. Um, yeah, that is true, Theo. That is true. There are, I mean, teach techniques all day long in my classroom. And sometimes if you use certain techniques, yeah, I get you. Like the drawings could always look the same. Um, and what I find, and I'm a teacher, so I'm not, saying anything detrimental to teachers, but sometimes a lot of students wind up drawing like their teacher. And that's good in the short term when you're learning, but I don't think you want that to be long term. Okay, so now I want to dance down the face with these micro angles. So it's brow bone. Brow bone is below the hair. We've got a connector from the hair into the side of the brow bone. And then I'm seeing this gal's eyelid, and it's curving up into the eyelash, and then I'm seeing this tilt in, And then I saw in the photo reference that the brow bone and the cheekbone are plumb, meaning the brow bone is right up above from the cheekbone. So I'm going to angle down the eye and it goes to the cheekbone. And then this gal's got really chiseled face. So it comes in, then the mouth area comes out, and then the lower lip area comes in, and then the very, very short model's chin. Um, Sweet. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Okay. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm liking the way that it feels. Oops, I forgot I got coffee. 1 second. Yeah, agreed. They're a really cool looking model. There's a photo pack on graphitstudio.com, GRAFIT, and I bought the photo pack. And one day I'm actually gonna email, or let me be cooler, direct message Graphit Studio and see if I can get an affiliate link, since I'm always promoting their photo packs and I get nothing for it except the use of their wonderful photos. And I always buy the photo pack that's more expensive. I get the YouTube license. And so, yeah, I think they're a great company. I used to photograph models all the time, and I don't do that anymore. It's kind of cost prohibitive for me. And so to have the benefit of buying a photo pack from Graphit Studio is a luxury, because I know how hard it is to hire a model and photograph a model. It's a lot of work, and yeah, I've done it. I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of models, but they're all older now, and I'm very bored with them. So this is nice to have that company always making new photo packs. Okay, so how we doing, people on YouTube? We okay? We good? Questions? Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. I'm drawing very, very traditional today. So what I'm doing here is I am use the angles for the edges of the face. I had some preliminary measurements. So what this is called in my classroom is a head gesture. So this is, what time is it? Oh my God, it's already freaking, I'm going so slow this morning. Holy shit, we're half an hour in. This is called, you should do this in 5 minutes, not 27 minutes. Okay. We've been talking. I get you. So listen, head gesture, shape of hair, shape of face, a little bit of line that separates the light from the shadow. All right, Paul, cool. Going off road with Joe. Okay. So now, how's this eraser? Let me test it on the scrap paper. So the test is the eraser going to mark the paper? These erasers notoriously dry out. I don't see any mark on that paper. That is nefarious. So, no. But did it erase that good? Not really. Okay. So I technically don't need to erase this because I can turn that into a background tone. And sometimes I like those marks because they add character to the drawing. But really what I'm looking at, people, is I'm looking at the back of the ear to the back of the hair, and that distance is very short. Okay, this green pencil is amazing. Green is such a weird color. I've always liked the color a dull blue green, so it's working for me. Okay. Winmo Ong, welcome. Going off road with Joe. I'm gonna say that all day. I tend to have sayings that I repeat over and over and over again, and might drive my wife crazy. Where I'll cling on to a saying and I'll just say it all day. And somebody on YouTube, I don't know who you are, but it's so hilarious. I post something in the post, and then this person comments, and that's all they comment. They say brah. Or instead of saying bro, they say brah in the comments. So My wife made me, yes, she made me hang up these pictures yesterday, and alls I kept saying when I was hanging up the pictures was "brah," and she's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" So it was pretty funny. So alls I'm gonna say, all of this live stream is we're going off road with Joe. Okay, so I'm gonna say that all day now. My family's gonna think I'm nuts. All right, so I guess we got to get to the facial features, right? Should we? Or should we just draw a head with no facial features? Okay, so let me go to the cheekbone once again because this width is too wide. I can see that already. So, yeah, that stinks. It's too wide. So I don't want to change this. I'm probably going to have to change the ear, which kind of sucks, but let's keep going. So I'm going to roll in the cheekbone. The cheekbone, mouth, corner of the lips. I'm looking at the corner of the lip to the bottom of the jaw. It's pretty close to that. That's going to be a good placement for me to. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. That, how is that? Is that good for everybody? And I think I'm going to move the paper again. Oh my God, here we go. Sorry. I should, now I've got that paper below. It's got to be right. Let me square it up. Yeah, it's so weird. It's been warm, so warm. We might have had like 2 cold days in all of October and November so far, and they weren't really even that cold. And boy, oh boy, it changed. So now it's cold. So okay, so corner of the lips. This gal's got a pretty wide mouth. So this is all tone over here. There's a wonderful artist. Sometimes I learn about. Oh my God, that is awesome. What are you driving in those? I wish my dream is to live in like Arizona or Nevada, one of those. But yeah. What are you off roading with? I'm not really an off roader, but yeah. I love that scenery and all that. That is phenomenal. Okay, so I'm focusing in on something different today. Like I love this model's cheekbone, and I love that the cheekbone where the cheekbone meets the front and the side of the face is where the light meets the front and the side. So it's awesome. And well, everybody's got to check out Going Off Road with Joe. And I've got 2 YouTube accounts, and I've got my one that has nothing to do with art, and then I've got my art one. So I'll subscribe to your with my art one. Tacoma. Wow, awesome. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, I'm gonna check it out. Okay, when I'm on the train tomorrow morning, I'm gonna check it out. So you see what I'm doing here, people? I'm being more painterly, and so now I'm going to be painterly with the model's lower eyelid for placement. So you make sure, I did this on a YouTube video, I did not get the tilt of the eye correctly. So if I don't want to take my iPad off of its perch and do this all over again, but if you remember at the beginning of the video, I showed you the measurements. So yeah. Okay, so now this would be the bangs. Curving up. Now I'm drawing very, very safe. I guess that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it safe. So I'm not really using lines that are I'm pressing down hard. So now I'm going to just play with the placement of the model's eye. Very big, round, dark eye. And then I'm going to play with the placement here. And it's got to be higher. I'm just doing like a soft placement right now. I don't know if that's really what I want to do, but that's what I'm doing, I guess. Okay, now I think I'm going to start to cling on to some measurements over here. So I've got this forehead. I'm going to get this eyebrow and I'm looking at the height of the forehead. And so I don't want to overthink this. I just kind of want to draw. And I'm looking at the width from the nose to the cheekbone, and it's small. Now we said tip of the nose to the edge of the face. So it's a short little distance, and then we could suggest under the nose without drawing the nose, the nostrils, and all that jazz just yet. And I'm just going to put in a little shadow for nose placement, and this is going to tell me where I'm at with this portrait immediately. Does the nose need to be longer? Does the nose... Yeah, so I'm just trying to place that shadow. I'm not drawing the nostril yet. And now I said this might be the corner of this gal's lips, and above that is the tear duct. So I'm just going to get the tilt. It looks a little funny right now, right? So let's keep going. You can't stop if it looks funny. You just got to kind of fight through it. I'm trying to get all the angles of the upper lip. And that upper lip goes right to the edge of the face. And then I see like a little skin. Art nerd, welcome. Appreciate that. And so now, all right, cool. And then there's the lower lip. And there's like a little shadow under the lower lip. And I'm going to loop this way. And what we're going to do, a.k.a. Charles Dana Gibson, the Gibson girls, Charles Dana Gibson, hold on. So I just want to put a piece of scrap paper over here because I can feel my hand is hot, and I don't want the paper to start to get moisture from my hand and start to buckle, and that's just very annoying. Okay, plus I'm drawing on a computer screen. My Cintiq is my drawing table, so it gives off heat. Yeah, so okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, Dylan. Yeah. No, for me, Dylan, I love to use angles. Okay, I've repeated myself. You've probably heard me say this like a gazillion times. The only time I really love to use angles, Dylan, is when I draw portraits, especially what I'm doing here today, which is more of an academic style of drawing. But like I physically, you know, you've heard me say this. I physically like have pain when I use angles when I'm doing a figure drawing. Like it literally hurts. Um, I can't do it. But for these like little drawings, like this is, it's not that little for me. It's not. So this is classic for me. It's 3.5, and it's about 4 high. For me, 3.5, a 3-inch head is doable in a short period of time. This is a little tall, and a little big. So, all right, I think that's going to be placement of the lip. Now, we could, now the beautiful thing is we could lower that chin a touch. And so now if I go up from where I think the corner of the lips are, if I look at my measurements, the nose lobe is a little bit off to the right of that. And from, if that's the corner of this gal's lips, above that would be the tear duct. And now I can start to just maybe play and use the stuff of Charles Dana Gibson, which would be angles for that eyelid. Okay. You're, I know you're mucking with me, Dylan. I know you're mucking with me. Can you believe it's already week 10 and we've only have 5 weeks left in a semester? This semester flew. My God. Yes. So I'm just trying to look at that eye. Um, Now, all right. I don't know how I'm feeling about this, but it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. We're just drawing. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit more tone there. So what I need to do is lean back. I might move that jawbone over. Yeah, I know it's flying. It's flying. Um, I'm really, thesis. I'm on my thesis students' butt because I'm like, you've got to, we've got to get these last meetings in, and there's only 5 weeks left, and I've got the four thesis students, and I'm like, this is we can't do it all on the last week, people. We've got to schedule this, and I'm like, this is going to go by really, really, really fast. And then to me, the last week isn't really like a week, it's just Tuesday and Wednesday for me. Okay, so I'm going to tilt that up a little bit more. Now, I'm procrastinating with this portrait. I don't know why. I should really dive into the eye. Now, the other, we were doing some really fun stuff. Oh, I was in Photoshop. Hold on. Let me get my iPad. So we were doing some really fun stuff in class the other day. We were doing. Oops, didn't want to do that. We were drawing all these different eyes. Let me hide this model. Yeah, we were drawing all these different eyes with different emotions, and I actually really like to start portraits with drawing eyes first. Um, and that was such a fun class. We were all like dying. We were all laughing. Like, I love the sad model. Let me get rid of this one, and then we'll get back to this portrait in a second. Yeah, I love the sad model, and so much fun. We were doing this in class. So with all of these, I started drawing the portrait with the eye, and so again, going back to Photoshop now. So this was what I was showing you with the measurements. So above the corner of the mouth is the tear duct. My hand is so shaky today. I hate when that happens. What I wish I would have done was, if I go from here to the edge of the hair, which is there, I wish I would have given myself a midpoint. And but I didn't, and we're winging it today. So yeah, let me put this back on my iPad holder. I'm sorry. I know I'm all over the place right now. 1 second. Cool. She's too wide. She's way too wide and needs to be taller. Needs to be taller, but too wide. Okay. So, coffee. Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. I really didn't do this semester. Like, it was weird. I thought I was going to be doing a whole bunch of hands-on stuff with the thesis students, like literally like drawing and painting with them. But it's just been like a lot of talking and talking things through. So it has been a little different than I thought it would be. Okay, so let's dive into this eye. Now I need to make sure this eye is higher than the other one to get the tilt. Okay, so I'm somewhat happy with this. This is lining up with my original line, which was the model's eyelid line. And I'm trying to use some angles here, and then we've got this model's eye. And I'm not really outlining hardcore. I'm just using soft. And another reason why I'm going a little soft with everything here today is because if I mess up, I could erase, um, and it's not going to be the end of the world. I can't even see what I'm drawing. It's kind of tiny, but I'm gonna just wing it for now. And now we've got this like little light lower eyelid suggestion. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. And this is very light. I don't want to go dark with the edge of that nose at all. And this is such a cool mouth. Really loops out. Very, very chiseled and awesome facial features for drawing. Okay, so yeah, I should commit to an eye, but I'm not. I don't know what my problem is here today. I'm just taking it a little bit safer. So now I need to get the bridge of the nose width. Okay, and now corner of the lip, corner of the tear duct. I'm kind of cool with that because this model does have pretty wide lips. Just putting some tone down there. Maybe this needs to come in a touch. And I'm looking at this width over here for the likeness. And I need to get in the lower eyelid. And I really had a lot of fun doing the Charles Dana Gibson girls drawings. And it's been helping me, I gotta say. Like, I'm using some of Gibson's technique in my own drawings. Not in the pen and ink style, but more in what he does, where he does like a little bit heavier on the lower eyelash over there, and just the pencil stroke direction. I think it's really, really nice to incorporate into more of a traditional mode of drawing. Okay, so I'm still being painterly. Yes, okay. Very painterly. So now the sideburn area, how far away is that from the eyelid? And notice I'm drawing the eyes very, very soft. Like, I'm not using a line like that. I will eventually when I don't know if I'm going to warm up at all today, but it is what it is. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to talk myself into drawing like shit. So I'm just going to wrap around the cheekbone now, and I think that's fun. This is so cool with this hair. Okay, so I want to lean back right now. I've been sitting in the same chair for like 47 minutes, so hold on. Okay, so it's time for some big lines. Lower chin. Moving this over. Yeah. Bringing this inward. Looping. Better. Not perfect, but better. Um, check it out, Dylan. Check it out. We're lifting up, people. I'm just not standing. I heard that you've got the stand-in desk. So with the press of the button, I stand when I'm not. See, the problem with the live streams and standing is I could move the desk, but I've got this thing up above my head called a camera. And to move that, yeah, I'm not going there. I'm not going there because then that's just a royal pain in the ass. But I use this Cintiq with, it's on this stand-in desk converter, which is on a bigger table. And when I'm doing my video critiques here at home, I will stand occasionally. No, yeah, it's so much fun. I wish I could take a picture of it. This setup, it's pretty cool. And then I have the desk that you have to my left. Yeah, I've got an extra one of these stand-in desks because I used to have like multiple iMacs um, with so many like files on them. I didn't want to get rid of the iMac, so I had them on their individual standing desks. And I have a stand-in desk in my basement that I desperately want to bring into SVA. I was going to bring it in one day and use it in class, and then I'm like, whoa, okay, this thing's a little heavy, and I don't think I'm carrying this on the train. No, I am not. So with this, people, okay, so look at what I did here. We have um, measure line gone wrong, angle gone wrong, angle too far to the left. I could erase all of that. Or I can say, you know what, I'm going to turn that negative into a positive since this model has platinum blonde hair. And I'm going to put some tone back over there. And I'm going to use those measure lines. I'm not going to use the negativity of that they're mistake lines. They are mistakes. But I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to take those mistake lines and I'm just going to make them into background tone. And because we could do that since the model has this platinum blonde hair. And I still feel like I'm not pressing down hard, so I still could go with my eraser with all of this, and I could still confidently erase some of these lines out. Um, okay, how? Yeah, I need to show you. It, it, okay, so my stand-in desk. Okay, timeout, timeout. Got everything at my fingertips, Dylan. We got our little tape measure. Okay, so my standing desk is 3 feet. It's 3 feet, and then the keyboard tray is like 33 inches, a little shorter than 3 feet, and the keyboard tray comes off, and you don't have to use the keyboard tray. I could technically bring it in and just I want to do that so bad because it's just it's a waste, like it's in the basement. And when I teach perspective, and I've got some students who went to bed at 6 a.m. and they're sleeping, yeah, no, nobody does that at SVA. Like I like standing and talking because I emote better than when I sit. Yeah, so okay, cool. And how we doing, people on YouTube? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? How are you doing, Carmela? Is this how's this one working for you? Her right eye needs to be more open. So let's recap. Um, when you are first starting to draw in this style, there's many different styles of drawing. There's like your 5 minute head gesture. There's line drawing. There's quick poses. But I'm gonna call this like a long drawing. Like if I wasn't doing a live stream, this drawing I would probably spend like 4 hours on it. All right, maybe a little bit more if I had time. I haven't done that in a while. This is how I would start. It's a very safe way. Like I didn't immediately go in and press down hard and give myself like the darkest nostril possible. Like I'm just using the shape of the bottom of the nose and even the lips. Like I'm not pressing down super hard with the lips. Like this is all middle tone. All right, I'm sure your drawing's beautiful. You can show it to me later today in class. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna start. I'm a big fan of starting over. So now I'm starting over here, and I think I need to zoom in to see this eye a little bit more closely. Oh, I see. So there's this lash lid line that's open. I see that this eyelid goes up. And I'm going to kick this past the face. And then I literally see the underlid part that's very pink. And then these lashes are kicking out. There's a lot going on there. And now the white of the eye is wider. There's a lot of information there that I'm not putting in. And then this tear duct line zooms down like that. And I'm just going to do that as a solid shape right now. Okay, and then there is this eyelid, which we do not want to make so dark. And most of this is in shadow or not catching a ton of light. And I don't like to go too dark with the lower eyelids, but I'm changing a little bit, aka Charles Dana Gibson. And I'm going to go a little bit darker here and here. Okay. I don't want to work it more than that. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want to commit. I want to get a little bit of the other eye in before I commit and go back. So like these are all go-throughs, people. Like we're going through this portrait multiple times. Now, this tip of the nose needs to be a nice hard edge. And now I can start to maybe be a little bit more confident with putting down some darker darks or look, this is all Charles Dana Gibson pencil stroke direction, the V shape at the bottom of the nose. The nose ring is messing with me. Charles Dana Gibson always makes the nostril like a triangular shape, but I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm still being extremely safe with my marks. I'm not ready to commit yet with pressing down hard. And then this eyebrow is higher. That's great, Paul. I love it. Okay, well, yeah, you're in a good place. Now, I want to faintly get this model's eyebrow, which is up through the hair. And now I think I need to work on this eye. Okay, corner of the mouth, tear duct. This is an angle that is level. Let me get a sharper pencil. And I'm going to angle that lash lid down. And then this eye. I am committing a little bit now. This eye is bigger. It's a perspective thing. We won't go to perspective, but as I have been teaching the perspective class now for a few years, like perspective is everything to me. And when I look at images in terms of paintings with compositions and stuff, and if I don't see perspective, I'm like, that's not cool. Like perspective just adds. And when I see a lot of horizontal lines, like there's a time and a place for horizontal lines, like they're very quiet, but perspective, like it's really in everything. Yeah, it's really fun to teach. That's like my favorite class. The problem is it goes by so fast, and the critiques take forever, and there's so much to talk about. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. Any questions out there in YouTube land? I'm being painterly. We're going around this very awesome cheekbone. Awesome upper lip. And we've got the center. Make sure you get the center of the upper lip, which needs to be moved over to the right on my art. Um, and then I've got to remember what this is called. I consider myself like really good with portraits, and I forget what this is called above the mouth. I know all the like real portrait artists on YouTube know the names of all these things. I know the names of most anatomy, but with the face, this little dimple above the mouth, I don't remember that. I did watch. I was scrolling on YouTube and like this academic Russian like artist popped up, and I watched part of it, and I'm like, oh, that's what you call that thing over the lip. I should know that shit. I should know that. I've only been drawing portraits like for the last 35 plus years. Um, Sometimes I get a little lazy with stuff. All right, let's see. So under the lower lip has this beautiful like little cruise around curving. And where are we? Boy, it's Filtrum. See, Dylan, you are going to be a teacher at SVA one day after you go on to conquer the animation world, and you're going to kick me out of Life Drawing, and you're going to teach. You're going to teach in my place because you know all this shit. Um, yes, you're going to take over my classes. When I'm really old and I need a walker at SVA, and then Reese will really make fun of me. Okay, where are we? I don't know if I have the likeness. Like I'm struggling with this, Platsky. Like I am. You may not believe me, but I am. Like, the thing with this is that some days I get the likeness and it's boom, it's like there, and I do it in like 5 minutes. I think like the whole YouTube live stream thing. Like I'm at peace with it right now. I used to get all like stressed out. I know, Dylan. Oh, Batman, Dylan, Batman is testing you now. This thing under the lower lip, I just called out the shadow under the lower lip. Dylan, what's the technical term for it? Yeah, just Dylan, when I'm using my walker, don't trip me, okay? Please, don't stick your foot in front of the walker and make me go flying down the hallway. Then Sasha will make another meme. Um, okay, so look, I'm just doing this. So, how do you get the likeness so well? So, okay, what, uh, where is that question? Platsky. I love that. That's a cool. Everyone's got such cool names. Platsky. In my mind, what is going on in my mind are all these comparison measurements. Now, I draw. Oh, it's time to do a comparison measurement. I'll do that for a split second, then draw, then shade, and then oh, that's called it, Batman. That's called an upside down mustache patch. Okay. So Platsky, I'm doing this all day long, but I'm not constantly doing it. Like I like to think about other things when I'm drawing, like shading and pencil stroke direction and texture and value and all these other things. And then you stop and you're like, oh, okay, what's right up above from the corner of. So, like, you should do this, Platsky, before you draw a portrait. If you have your own, let me put this back. Hold on, timeout. Oh my God, I got to stand up soon. Jesus Christ, to put this thing on my iPad holder is like nuts. I'm like fighting a cat. All right, let me move this. Awesome sauce. That is called the upside down mustache patch. Well, everybody's replaceable going off road with Joe. Everyone's replaceable. Trust me. Everyone's replaceable. Absolutely. If you watch sports, you know that to be true. Like your favorite team, like they trade like one of the best players, and you're like, oh my god, the team's gonna suck now forever, and then somebody else comes and they're just as good, and it's like, oh, okay, they're replaceable. Who was that person that I loved? And yeah, all day long. Okay, I'm trying to make that a little bit more solid. I don't like the dark over here. I need to balance that dark. So I'm gonna put like a little bit more dark under the bangs. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Some days I wake up, my legs are just like, oh God, getting old sucks. Okay, so and then there was another video on YouTube. It was like, don't let the old man in, and I'm like, I need to watch that. I need to watch that because I think a lot of it is also your mentality. Um, okay, so and 50 is the new 30, right? 80 is the new 60, right? Yes, all day. This drawing needs a lot of work, but we're getting there slowly but surely. This eye's a little bit too big for me. So I think, what time is it? It's 11:06. I think I need to take a short break to stand up. Oh my God, the wind. I've got this beautiful tree in my front yard. It's like all red, pink leaves right now, fall. But all the leaves are falling today. It's like crazy that that's going down. Okay, we got our beautifully sharp mono zero. And all right, where are we? I think I need to. Well, Wes, thank you so much, Wes. I really do appreciate that. Are you going to trip me too? Yes, I know you would trip me before Dylan. I know that for a fact. Absolutely, Lutely. You've got Wes. You've got to take the advanced life drawing class in fourth year. I'm going to be so upset if you don't get in that class, and it's going to be so funny when you do take that class, and you go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you don't make it, and then you had three absences, and I have to tell everyone to go get you out of bed so you don't fail with four absences, and that's going to be the best. That's going to be the best when that happens. It's going to be so funny. Okay, where am I? So let's be a little bit looser. This is not animation style drawing right here. This is not animation style drawing. We're in the illustration department right now. Absolutely. I was also. I appreciate that. It is the like it's my favorite. I love all my classes. I love all my classes. I love all my students. They're the best. But man, there's something about that like advanced life drawing class. It's so advanced, Wes, that I handed out Crayola crayons last week, and we were drawing with crayons, and we were using the crayon sharpener, and that those Crayola crayons on newsprint. Oh my God, it is like the best to draw with those things. I don't know if Dylan can retake a life drawing class because Dylan suffered through 30 weeks of that. So I don't know. Dylan needs to take like some humanities history of jazz class. Absolutely, lutely. Now I'm feeling this hair needs to go back up. Um, And Tyler cannot take that class at all. There's no way, and neither can Reese. That's not going down. That's not going down. People on YouTube, does anybody have any questions about drawing? Okay. Uh, can I help you with anything? Are you getting anything? What's your key takeaway? What can I help you with? I'm here to teach you. Um, okay, I'm raising the hair. I can't believe I'm doing this. I think I had it right the first time. Ugh, ugh, okay. Now, the problem that this is my little world, people. The problem is it's 11 o'clock, right? I've got my Zoom class at 2. So, like, I would love to finish. Maybe I just got to finish it another day. I would love to spend 4 hours on this drawing and actually finish it. Oh boy. Okay. It's gonna. I can't believe it's your 4th year. Like you're a semester and a quarter away from 4th year of college. Oh my God. Um, agent isn't bad. Being bitter is also body pain. Platsky, that is we. I need to get a plaque that says that because what you just said there is so true. Um, I'm gonna watch that video. Don't let the old man in. I love that title. That is so cool. It's really a mentality. But yeah, I agree with that. The hand, Paul. I don't know in a live stream if I want to do that. Um, I might save that. If I was gonna put the hand in, I would have already put it in. I'm gonna do it without the hand. Paul, I think it does make more sense with the hand. Um, but I'm just being practical with time, and for me, with the live stream, to tackle that hand right now would be insane. So like, yeah, it just would be a little overwhelming for me to do that, because then I'm gonna be uh, ultra comparing everything. But I think if you're drawing it, if you're not doing the live stream, you can take your time, perhaps draw it and see. And I think it's definitely a gorgeous hand, a gorgeous pose. So I think it's worth it to give it a go if you're feeling the hand. For me, with the live stream, I'm just trying to complete like somewhat of a decent portrait in an hour and a half, 2 hours. And the hand would just add so much time. Okay, so this model's neck. I want this like normally I always put shoulders in. I don't think I'm going to do shoulders in this live stream, but I'm a big believer in shoulders. I think shoulders are like a great way to stabilize a portrait and give the portrait like a wide base. And I just love collarbones, like those bones. They're really gorgeous. Big collarbone person, and it's low hanging fruit to bring anatomical landmarks into the drawing. I think every drawing should have collarbones. Every portrait, I meant to say, they just make the pose look really elegant. Portraits with a little bit of anatomical landmark, so it's not like you're drawing a portrait where the figure's made out of like rubber. Like there's actual bone and muscle, and like it's awesome when you get some collarbone going on in the drawing. Um, Batman, I have a lot of I have like 4 sketchbook videos on my iPhone. I have more than that, but I filmed one student and they wanted to wear a mask and they talk so low that when I watched the video, I was going to upload it. It's such a good sketchbook. that the combination of them wearing a mask, them talking low, and me talking in my normal voice, which is a little loud, it had the most annoying sound. And I'm like, people on YouTube are gonna like rip me if I upload this video. But I've just my schedule is so tight right now. I've got Mondays, I have things to do for drawingtutorialsonline.com. I've got video critiques that I've got to do for members. And then on Mondays, I prep for these videos and my Zoom live class. And I do other things on Mondays also. And then Tuesday is this live stream, and Tuesday is then a Zoom class. And then I've got to get the photos and the Zoom class up on my website, the videos. And so there's just no time for a sketchbook video. And then the other days, I'm in the city teaching at the college, the School of Visual Arts, and that takes up the entire day. So the sketchbook videos, like, there's no time right now for me to upload. But soon as I go on winter break, I will upload. And I've got some amazing students that I want to film their sketchbooks. And so, Batman, there'll be more. So, going off road with Joe, basically, you need to have these strands of hair. Like, this is platinum, so I don't want to press down hard, and this is not really the best hair for me to do a tutorial on, because I don't want to overwork the light hair. But these strands of hair are all S curves. Like, this is an S curve. These are C curves. And you have to draw the hair wrapping around the head, going with the lay of the land. And there should be absolutely no straight lines on this model's hair. And then the other thing with hair is the edge of the hair needs to be extremely soft. Okay, so I remember when I first started oil painting back in the day, and I would paint like the model's hairline, like it almost looked like a wig. And my teacher actually said that. I was like devastated. They're like, "Oh, it looks like a doll's head," and I'm like, "Really?" So some of the teachers that critiqued my work, I mean, my God, I'm gonna keep my language PG. But man, oh man, they didn't understand mental management whatsoever. When I say mental management, I'm talking about how high-end Olympic athletes talk to themselves, and how their coaches talk to them to preserve confidence. And like I do, like I follow this whole mental management thing for the younger students to help build their confidence, not say, "Oh my God, you painted hair, it looks like a doll's hair. Like, you're the worst human being in the world." Like, no, not that. It just, you did such a good job with the hair. Oh my God, the values, everything. Next time, what needs work is you need to make the hairline a little bit softer. Oh, look at this, YouTube. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Can you believe it? Can you believe what just happened? Oh my God. This is not good. This is why when you're a professional, you have your go-to, you have to have multiples. Because I'm joking, I could sharpen it, but I'm going to destroy the pencil when I sharpen it. It's going to go down like by half. Yeah, I always have multiples of everything. So look at what I just did there with my finger. You don't need to use your finger, but it just needs to have a soft edge. And that's the key. The key to drawing hair so it's not stiff is every single line should be an S curve. And the hair should go with the lay of the land around the form of the model's head. And the other thing, and we're just talking about drawing loose hair, not realism. The other thing is, do not draw every strand of hair. That is ultra realism, and that's not what we're doing here. There's no time for that in this live stream. So we're just being extremely suggestive with what we're doing. Yes, totally. And there's other tricks to drawing hair, but I think that's good just to kind of jot those down for now. Emmanuel, the go to Graphit Studio, GRAFIT, graphitstudio.com. And you can buy as many photos as you would like there at that place. I need an affiliate link so I can put it in my video description. Going a little darker with that eye socket. It's pretty dark there. And so my mantra is, in order to have light, you must have dark. Oh my God, it's 11:20. I need to stand up and I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Okay, and so when I come back, I'll work for a while longer. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I will. Give me 2 minutes, people. Give me 2 minutes. How many people we got watching this thing? Okay, 33 people. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And yeah. All right. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh my God, all I want to do is stretch right now. Sitting on this chair destroys me. Destroys me. Ah, being a big baby, right? Um, no, sitting is the new smoking all day long. Well, all the leaves are falling off of that tree, and hopefully the wind. Oh, yeah, the wind's blowing all the leaves on my neighbor's lawn. It's usually the opposite way around. Okay. Now, green pencil, where are you? Okay. Um, I got the wrong glasses on. 1 second. How are we doing here? Okay. So I can't really tell you too much about Visi Pop because it's been, I can't tell you how many years since they were in my class, and you know, they're really advanced, and I had them as a student when they were 18 years old, and they're much older and much more advanced. And all I can tell you about is the experience that I had with Vivian when they were in my class. I mean, they were one of the hardest working students. They were very confident. They did all of the homework like to the nines. Like they never skimped on the homework. They always went the extra mile. Like they did all of the fundamental drawing skills, practice. But the thing that they also had was they had a vision of their little world, with their characters and with their style. And the style thing is ginormously important, for all of you people, to understand what is your style, and not always bouncing around from one teacher's recommendations, and then you see another teacher on YouTube and they're teaching with this pencil, and then you switch to that pencil, and then you see another teacher on TikTok, and then you're like, oh, I got to do that, and you're always bouncing around, and that's no good. Like you need to find something that you like and stick with it. So that to me means, find a style that works for you, stick with it, find materials that work for you, and use them, then become an expert with them. Don't always constantly jump around. And yes, Vivian did really practice the fundamentals, but simultaneously they were developing their personal style and their character development. And yeah, so they were just extremely hard working. And it's not really about talent, although when you have talent, it helps. It's not about talent, because you could have somebody who's not that talented, but they will outwork the talented student. And sometimes the most talented student is the laziest student, and they use their talent like they kind of take it for granted, and the other student who's not as talented works harder, and they do better in the long run. Okay, so Platsky, when I'm painting, the drawing will be really good, but my colors will be so muddy that will be completely ruined. Any tips? So yeah, I mean, I painted portraits for book covers for just about 19 years, and I've been painting my whole entire life, oil painting. So what works for me with painting and color is to use what is called a limited palette. So I try, just because when you go to the art supply store, you can buy a gazillion different colors and a gazillion different tubes of paint, doesn't mean that you need to use all of those tubes of paint. So, like, you should, number one, use the least amount of colors possible per painting. That is my recommendation, number one. Recommendation number two for painting would be to always mix your paint before you start to paint with a palette knife. I used to mix my paint with a brush. I would never mix enough of the paint, and then I would start to get muddy colors because I was mixing paint with a brush that already had too many colors mixed into the brush. Thus, I was starting to get gray and mud like everywhere. So those two recommendations seem so like fundamentally basic, but those two recommendations will literally change the way that you paint. And they are, just to repeat, number one, um, use a limited palette. Do not try to use 20 colors of paint for like one painting. Number two, pre-mix value strings with your palette knife. It's too much for me to get into in this video. But when I really started to become very consistent with my book cover paintings, where consistent meaning like they all looked the same, they all looked somewhat professional, and I didn't get a lot of changes from the art directors. Where is this ear in relationship to the lip? That's top of the lip. Okay, that's when things started to click for me. That ear needs to be lower, even with this. Now, this lip could actually be higher. I hope that helped you. So, those two things alone are ginormously important to being a successful painter. If you just like, and then there's palettes. So there's an open palette where you squeeze all of your paint onto the palette, and then you just start painting with a brush, mixing with a brush, and that only gets you so far. And then what happens is everything starts to become muddy. The ear is too high. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. I don't want to move this whole flippin' ear. I'm going to adjust that off camera. I don't want to. It just needs to be lower. Okay. Um, just making that upper lip darker. I need to work on the lower lip. I have done nothing to the lower lip. That should curve up. Yeah, the ear needs to be lower. There's a little shadow over here under that lower lip. I don't want to outline the lower lip 100%. That would be a train wreck. And that's the tear duct. Questions, anybody? Getting back to your question, Batman, it's also the use of multiple sketchbooks being used constantly. Always connecting with your drawings in a sketchbook and never letting weeks go by where you're not drawing. Like Vivian was always connected with a sketchbook, and I tell the story all the time. It was fourth year of college for Vivian, but it was the last day of college before the summer break, and Vivian visited my class, was sick as a dog, but they were on a mission, and they're like, "Could you film my sketchbook?" And I'm like, "Of course." And they were like, "I'm like, just please don't get me sick." Like they were so sick as a dog, um, and even then, like they had their sketchbook, and they were always drawing in their sketchbook. So that's where your sketchbook is just like a. I'm just looking at this lip like a journal, and you need to constantly be drawing in that sketchbook. Going a little dark with certain areas right now that shouldn't be dark, but curve around the lower lip. And the nose, I don't love the nose right now. So the other thing, when I get to this point with a portrait drawing, I really want to get up closer to where like my head would be in the camera. Um, and so, yeah, this is an impression of this model because like my head is so far away right now from this drawing. It's insane. Like I can't, I don't enjoy that. I guess is the better phrase for me to say. Like I enjoy when I actually am able to get a little bit closer to the drawing, and I'm gonna have to do that off camera. Uh, so we'll draw for maybe till 11:45, and then we'll call this one a YouTube live stream. Does anybody have any questions? So we've got like 10 minutes left in this live stream. You got it. Yeah, out of everything, out of all those words that I said, the sketchbook's the most important. One of the best artists is in the eye of the beholder. Like there can be really good artists out there, but some people will think that they're not that good. So there's it's very hard to be absolutes when it comes to an artist. Best at like what? Best at abstract art, best at portraiture, and then even that's like in the eye of the beholder. What one artist thinks is good, another artist thinks is crap. So that's a tough one. You just need to be very crystal clear on what you want to be good at. Um, so for me, back in the day, I really wanted to be good at painting realistic book covers. Like that was my thing, and that was my standard. Right? Oh my God, this ear is killing me. It's so stupid that I'm wasting so much time on this ear. I should have got it in the. Okay, I'm not working on that ear anymore. But out of everything, that needs the most work on this drawing. I just really did not pay attention to the ear whatsoever. Um, Schedules are great. They give you like consistency, and I really recommend to my students that you do homework for certain classes on certain days. So, like for my perspective class, like the big excuse is, oh, the week caught up to me. I wasn't really good with my time, and then they do their homework like the night before, and they're up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they come to my class and they're like dazed and confused and completely out of it. So I think having a schedule um, for certain days of the week to do certain things is what has always worked best for me. So, for instance, today is my live day. So, my live day consists of like the live stream on YouTube and then my live Zoom class. Um, Monday is my video critique day and my prep day for the live streams and other things that I need to handle. So I really do think having a schedule is really important. Del Monte Green Beans, shoot AI. Well, yeah, that's a story for another day of AI. It's good and it's bad. Yeah, it's definitely everything's flooded. So you can't, what you can't worry about other artists and what they do. You just got to focus on what makes you happy and work on that, and be very crystal clear with what your goals are for improvement. So for me, it's just portraits and figure. And I guess the other thing that I'm really into because I teach it and I've done it for many, many years is image making, which is composition. For image making, that would be right now in my little world as animation backgrounds, teaching students how to do that thoughtfully. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. There's things that need to be fixed on this drawing, aka the ear. It just all the eyes, all this just needs more love and attention. Not really giving it this love and attention on the live stream, but this is more of an impressionistic drawing of this model right now. And we used green, people. We drew in green. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. the rest of what I'm going to work on this drawing is I'm just going to get close up to the drawing. And just I'm going to constantly be like refining stuff. So like with this ear area, I'll probably smudge it all out. And then just go back into it and try to redraw it. So I think that's all I got for this live stream right now. The drawing definitely needs a lot of work. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that today. But yeah, because I got another drawing that I got to start at 2 p.m. for my Zoom class. But yeah, let me just see what other questions we got. Platsky. I want to be an editorial designer and illustrator and animator. Do you think that's too ambitious? Well, Platsky, a different way to look at things, and this is the way that I teach in my class. Like I do teach like a business class for artists. And that class talks about this concept of multiple streams of income. And so let's say you want to be a designer, illustrator. I would start with 2. And you got it, Phoenix. I would start with 2 and focus on 2 and really just develop portfolios for both and try to earn a living, say, as a designer and an illustrator, or a designer and an animator. Like, they're all pretty much the same thing. So I like the way it's not being ambitious. In 2025, it's actually being smart because you're setting yourself up for multiple streams of income. If one dies down, you've got the other in your back pocket. So I would look at it that way. Going off-road with Joe, on image making, do you follow the Loomis method on perspective? He is intense. I guess the Loomis method with perspective is just perspective. So I do follow perspective. But there's so many other things with composition. There's compositional shapes, there's value structure, there's edges, there's atmospheric conditions, there's a million different things that go into composition. Perspective is just one cog in the wheel, one spoke in the wheel, I should say. But it's an important spoke in the wheel. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, cool. Let's see. I'm going to just get rid of this drawing for now. I'm going to try to work on it after. I'm going to just switch cameras here. 1 second. Yeah, we're going to be drawing this one later today in my Zoom class. I'm really looking forward to it. And absolutely. Let's go to full. Awesome. So, yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me just tape where this drawing was. Good. Let me move this. 1 second, and then I'll answer some more of these questions. I liked this paper a lot. This is the drawing of our model. Why is that like that? There we go. Yeah. Pretty fun. It needs work. It needs work. Everything needs work. Okay, so let me just answer some of these like questions here. Could you make another video on how to draw out of your imagination, different scenarios? Appreciate your live streams. Yes, I love drawing out of my imagination. It's a lot of fun and it's always very challenging. Thank you for the live stream, Phoenix. You're welcome. Platsky, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. So listen, if you're interested in supporting this channel and learning more from me, definitely take a look at the link in the description, drawingtutorialsonline.com. I think the thing that really helps you to learn faster is getting feedback on your artwork, where a qualified teacher will help you, and that's where I come in. I draw on top of your artwork in Photoshop. You ask me questions, you upload your videos, your drawings to my video critique gallery, and yeah, so check out some of the links. I won't get into a sales pitch. You know where to find me. So if you're interested in a deeper dive into me actually looking at your artwork, check out some of the things. This paper is Stonehenge Colors. I guess it's Legion Papers. And the colors are warm white, natural cream. Like they're all, I don't want to flip through it, but they're all very light. It's awesome paper. I don't remember what I paid for this pad. Maybe you can take a picture of the QR code. Yeah. Okay. If you want me to put that back up, I will. Thank you, Leah. I'll see you later. Laxmi. Appreciate you for joining us. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Stonehenge Colors is the pad with the Cola Race pencil green. It's a great color combination. All right. I think that's all I got for you people. It was a fun live stream. Had my friends from SVA joining and my YouTube friends, and I'm always here to help. We should be back next Tuesday with another live stream. If you want to learn more from me, check out the links in the description below. Yep. Awesome. All right, people. I'll see you later, okay? Appreciate you joining me. Time to go eat some lunch. Oh, I'm going to check out the everyone check out Going Off-Road with Joe YouTube channel. Check out that Toyota Tacoma. You got it. Cool. See everyone next week. Be good.